Okay, I'm going to start out by going over the last few verses in chapter 23. And bear in mind that the scribes and the Pharisees are like the leaders of churches. You know, they're the whatever kind of priesthood organization that you're familiar with. And, and you'll recognize them by what they do. You know, just because we say scribes and Pharisees, it could be talking about any kind of church leadership, whatever church you belong to. If the shoe fits, wear it, right? All right, so you know what they are, okay? I wanted to go through this. Starting at verse 27. I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to explain it, just we're going to read it. And then you can determine for yourself whether or not the people that you've been looking to as God's chosen leaders, if they sound more like Jesus or more like the people that Jesus is talking about. All right? Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and all uncleanliness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets, and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourself that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye kill and crucify, and some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. Okay? And so, what Jesus spoke to those leaders of church, of the Jews back in those days, he's talking about the leaders of the church in this day. Okay? In other words, all the blood that's been shed since the time of the apostles until today because of the evil men that are in leadership positions in supposedly the Christian church, you see, all that blood will be required of those men. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stones them that are sent unto you, how oft would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate, for I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth till ye shall say, blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. And it's the same thing today. Many people are thinking that Jesus is going to come right away, come today, but not until ye shall not see me henceforth till ye shall say, blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. Okay? In other words, until people start to respect God's true messengers and true apostles and call him blessed that comes in the name of the Lord, it isn't going to happen. As long as people and churches continue to persecute the people that have the truth. Jesus isn't coming. So there you have it. Okay, so then, chapter 24, Jesus Jesus is with his disciples, and they're looking at the buildings of the temple. And Jesus says unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Okay, this has reference to the when the Romans came in to destroy the city of Jerusalem in about 70 A.D. And there was a rumor among the Roman soldiers that the Jews hid gold in the cracks between the stones of the temple. And so the Romans came through, and when they destroyed the temple, they knocked over every stone. They didn't leave one stone unturned, looking for the gold that supposedly was between the cracks and the stones. So that was verily fulfilled, exactly as Jesus said that it would. And then as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when all these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world. So in one question, there's actually three questions. When are these things going to happen? Number one, that's the first question. Number two, what shall be the sign of your coming? Okay, now the men that were asking the question, they were thinking that it was all going to happen all at once. But no, it wasn't going to happen all at once. But there's three questions, and there's going to be three different answers. And then the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world. Okay, so to answer the first question, Jesus answers and says, Take heed that no man deceive you, for verily, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay. So, almost immediately after Jesus was resurrected, there were people rising up claiming to be the Christ and claiming to be claiming to be prophets and so on that were not prophets and they were not Christ. And in those days there were wars and rumors of wars. And this whole situation of false prophets and false Christs has been happening, and wars and rumors of wars has been happening for the last 2,000 years. Okay? So, tell us when these things shall be. Okay? So, basically, Jesus is saying it's kind of an ongoing thing. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, so everything that in history that has already passed with the false Christ and the false prophets and the earthquakes and the famines and the pestilence and so on, that's the beginning. Which means that it's going to continue and get worse. Okay. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, so this is an ongoing thing. This never stopped. From the time of the disciples till today, there are the false Christ and the false prophets, and there's persecution wherever there are Christians, and the Christians are hated. And even now in America, we started out as a Christian nation, and we're not so Christian anymore. We're not so Christian. Christians are rapidly moving into the minority.